and welcome to episode 15, in which there is a lot of undiscovered coolness, where Manny's world overlaps with Mictlān, and before that, we watch Manny appropriate his male version of La Calavera Catrina, who appropriates Western culture. He appropriates my culture, the Russian culture. So I was a little bit uneasy watching him do that, and I'll examine that. Before we get there, we'll just have some fun playing with the Drunkenness Simulator, otherwise known as Tank Controls, and examine his relationships to women, which he seems to have rather reluctantly, in a little bit more depth. One of the things I've been doing in these videos is when Manny drinks enough alcohol, I switch to Tank Controls. Tank Controls make it challenging to walk straight and to properly use your inventory. So what do you think a drunk Manny would do? I think he'd take a scythe out for one.
My scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be.
And I think you might want to run with the scythe. Come on, forward. Be proud of who you are, Manny. You're the Reaper, man. I don't think he would go see Velasco. I think he's too careful for that. Maybe he'll visit the wrong side of the tracks. He'll visit the poor side of town. Why did he put the scythe away? Keeping his reaping in the closet already? The more modern cat track was built on older Aztec ruins. And soon, something will be built on top of that.
There it is. Max's giant cat racetrack. How's a regular guy with 3 roulette tables supposed to compete with that?
You're not supposed to compete with the big bad guy. This isn't a who can be a bigger bad guy video game. And here is Deponia. If you think the music is somehow off, you're right. I hijacked it from Kuvak. Putting it back now. In the world of landlines, there was something called drunk dialing. If you were drunk and it's late at night, you might call somebody and embarrass yourself. Well, there's a phone here, so let's have Manny do that.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot about my date with Inez.
He was supposed to be dating somebody who wasn't Meche, but he's so busy working and chasing after Meche, he forgot about this. He's really overscheduling himself. Why?
Hello, operator? Yeah, it's me, baby. How'd you know? Hey, don't say that, sweetheart. You know I meant to stop by and... I'm more happy about leaving town every minute.
So his official story is that he can't date other women because he's so in love with Meche. And yet here he is trying to force himself to date somebody else and being unable to go through with it, and then deciding that the solution to this is to leave. And yet even Double Fine thinks that he loves Meche.
Looks like it hurts. Looks like it hurts.
So that's Tank Controls for you. I want him to look at the tattoo guy, but he keeps looking at the sailor.
Looks like it hurts. Looks like it hurts. Hola, Toro. ¿Cómo estás?
Not now, Manny. I'm in the middle of something with Naranja here.
So he knows where the guy is, but the real question
What's that
is,
you're working on there?
I told you, Calavera, not now.
does Seaman Naranja have orange
A lot of
tattoos?
stains for a guy with no bodily fluids.
Remember my pigeon episode? Being filthy is apparently part of the tattoo guy's inherent essence. There's a plug, but you can't unplug it.
It's a little cabinet. It's empty.
Yeah, I got to remember to get more liquid nitrogen from morgue.
Liquid nitrogen?
Freeze the bones, less painful that way.
Hey, that sounds good. I could go for that.
You got plenty of painkiller in that bottle of yours, so shut up and hold still.
Strong stuff. That ought to kill the pain.
Should, but it don't.
I killed the pain, turn off my drill, stop working. How about that?
No. I can take it. Bring it on, Pops.
I'll pop you, silly boy.
I wanted to use the tank controls as soon as he was done drinking in the blue casket, but it was so crowded in there. He kept using the gold on the social justice warriors, and it wasn't pretty, so I had to wait till I got here.
Put that crazy blade away. No room in here for that kind of thing.
I think these are binders of tattoo designs. They're labeled nautical and nice, and a third one just says Anchormania.
Me and Shag Fajdalo. Miért nem fogja be a pofáját?
I don't remember there being a translation. Hanging out with people that really don't like him. That's what Manny does best.
Looks like it hurts. It's Toto Santos, Rubalcava's friend. A mouse?
You push me to edge, Calavera.
A caterpillar eating a mouse?
Why are you down here anyway?
Is that a shoe?
Get lost.
Is that supposed to be a bunny?
Don't you have some fancy club to run someplace?
Looks good, whatever it is.
Go mark some cars or something.
I
Hey,
think that art class really helped.
Shut up.
Can I try it for a while? Missed a spot. Can't really make it out, but it looks like my parents fighting.
definitely glad I chose this place for the
I hear you
drunkenness
grinding your
simulation.
teeth. You really shouldn't do that. I'm thinking about heading out for donuts. Want anything? Keep up the good work.
So he schedules a date with Inez, and then overschedules himself so that he doesn't follow through with it. And when he couldn't keep that up anymore, his solution is to leave town. That doesn't make sense unless you factor in Velasco. And then it makes perfect sense. His charade as a straight Rick or as a womanizer or whatever he's trying to be is falling apart. Time to leave town. And on top of that, he's a Reaper and he's not quite sure that he wants to be out about that as well. Poor Manny. Okay, I'm done playing Manny drunk. Let's get back to business.
Labor Organization and Revolt Made Easy. Chapter 1. The workers shall control the means of production. Ooh, better not show that to Glottis.
So he thinks he's exploiting Glottis, and he's a bit scared. Is it possible to exploit your own spirit guide in the Underworld? I think I need to disclose that I had a bit of a hard time with all this communism, because my dad was a dissident in Soviet Russia. He fought against communism. His dad spent time in a gulag, that's a Russian concentration camp. His mom, my grandmother, she died in a free Soviet hospital. The care is free. The medicine and the doctors didn't really exist. They tied her to a bed and let her die. So you can say I was a little bit triggered by the communism in this game. So much so, I even had a problem with Salvador the first time I played this game. I had this knee-jerk reaction. I thought he was a communist. If he is representative of the Mexican Revolution, he is not a communist. He's actually a bit of the opposite. So here we have very definite communism. And I was so offended by it that I didn't realize what was actually going on in the game. What's really going on is that Manny, a hollow workaholic capitalist, is using communism to steal the tools from the working class, to prevent them from working. He's appropriating their means of production by appropriating communist ideology from somebody else, words that he himself couldn't put together any more than Terry could.
I think these are the words you're looking for.
The workers shall control the means of production. The workers shall control the means of production. Yes, that's it. That's what I've been trying to say.
Who will stop the fat cats of industry from building these ships with the pollen of the exploited working class?
He's got his tool.
I say we fight back!
What's this? Maybe a bee agitator?
I say lay down your tools right now and show the man just who makes the honey around here!
Finally, some demons finally get to do what they've been created to do. In this case, drop tools and fight.
You know, I always thought bees came in two colors, yellow and black. But you look all red to me, my friend.
Ah! Hey, what are you doing? We've got the right to assemble peacefully.
Good. You're going to need a lot of assembly after we take you apart, comrade.
Manny!
He's trying to look casual, but he clearly feels bad.
That's gonna make it tough to spring the kid and get him back out here. Good thing I know a lawyer who owes me a favor.
Knowledge that there exists a compromising photograph that can be used for blackmail is what he calls owing him a favor. That is like the most mobster thing he's said in this game. So if we were legitimately playing this game, you'd know where Bogan is because we've seen him at the roulette table. But you wouldn't quite know where Terry was. You'd have to go really look for him. But I know where to go, so I'll just take you right to him. This area looks like it wants to be an MC Escher print. I keep looking for a staircase that goes upside down or the wrong way. There should be one, but there isn't. So let's go see the damage that Manny did with his little red book. This guy, he uses communism to steal the means of production from the working class, just so he can get on a ship with Velasco.
Poor Terry, this is all my fault.
I like how he's capable of feeling guilt for what he does. He's not really a bad guy.
Hey Terry, that was a beautiful speech out there.
Yeah, maybe so, but it landed me in here.
Don't worry, I'll get you the best lawyer in town.
Okay, Manny, but quick, before the movement loses its buzz.
This looks like a bug too. Look at that. Was that a skeleton of a bug?
Poor Terry. This is all my fault.
It is, Manny.
Reward offered for cargo stolen from shipyard receiving area, including a large suitcase bearing the initials HL.
Looks like Hector Lamons is missing a suitcase. And hoping for the goodwill and honesty of some poor sap whom he'd murder in an instant, to kindly return his suitcase to him. And down here there is a lot more spirituality, Day of the Dead mythology, and a couple of Lotteria cards. So now our role-playing Reaper can visit his friend,
Late night at the morgue, isn't it, Membria?
the dead mortician.
You know I can't sleep with John Doe's on the slab, Manny. If I don't ID these rose gardens tonight, I won't be ready for the two that come in tomorrow. And before you know it, I'm up to my ass in azaleas.
This is a rare thing in Manny's life. They seem to be actually friends.
What a sad story. These stews sprouted and no one came down to clean
Just
them?
like Manny, he died with no human connections.
Death makes sad stories of us all.
Some more than others.
How's business?
Booming, unfortunately. More crime every day. And more sproutings like these. Something's happening back in Elmaro, I think. And its dark hand is finally reaching us here in Rubacava.
What exactly are you looking for?
I'm digging for a treasure that part of me does not wish to find. For when I uncover that sad doubloon that tells me who this poor soul is, my reward is not riches, but the chance to make a phone call and break somebody's heart. Of course, with this equipment, the search could go on for some time.
So he needs better equipment to search for metal coins. Got it.
Membria, why do you stay in town? Why don't you head off toward the Ninth Underworld?
Manny, you can only search for something for so
Like
many
love.
years before you stop believing in it altogether.
So he is a skeleton who can talk without a tongue. He knows this afterlife is real, and yet he still somehow manages to be an atheist. That's quite an accomplishment.
You don't believe in the Ninth Underworld?
Why do you think we're all here in Rubacava?
'Cause you're waiting to earn off your time or you can't afford passage or...
Manny, we've given up. All of us. When you've been here long enough, you will too.
I've done some research, and I can assure you that the Ninth Underworld is real in Grim Fandango. The Aztecs believed that if you didn't die a good death, you went to Mictlān. You would get a red dog to guide you through it, but you would have 4 years to make it through up to the Ninth Underworld, which was the land of eternal rest, just like here. But whether Manny makes it to the Ninth Underworld, or whether he or anyone can really be happy there, are topics I will cover at the end of the game. Now, while different people got 4 different underworlds, there was no crossover between them, like I think is happening here.
Do you ever worry that your job is getting to you, Membria?
Well, forensic botany is a trying job, Manny. But have you ever spent much time here with a florist? In life, they became florists because they love flowers. But here, a flower is a symbol of pain, of death within death. Their conflicted feelings build and build, and eventually they become quite mad.
Thanks for the tip. I guess I'll send balloon bouquets from now on.
Okay, let's talk about flowers. The riddle for this card is, he who is destined to be a potted plant never moves down the hallway. So these two guys have been destined to have their 4-year journey down the hallway cut short and to be rooted in place where they are. They've been doomed. Now, there's no equivalent to sprouting in Mexican mythology, although you'll never look at one of these the same way again. There is the concept that Mictlān is so close under our feet that flowers are literally being pushed up by the dead through the ground. Think of that when you hear pushing up daisies.
Can I help?
Sure. Grab hold of this leaf right here.
These are good. Pick one of these.
Manny?
I can't do it.
I know. I was just testing.
So what scares the Grim fucking Reaper? Flowers. Of course. Makes perfect sense.
How do you do this job?
Without becoming jaded, you mean? My secret to happiness, Manuel, is that I have the heart of a 12-year-old boy. I keep it over here in a jar. Would you like to see it?
No.
Sorry. Old coroner joke.
Well, don't let me bother you.
Always nice to have visitors.
Any leads?
I know it's a poor coroner who blames his tools, Manny. But how am I supposed to turn up anything with the equipment they give me?
Hey, I had a government job for years, man. I know how you feel.
Strangely enough, having a job in Mictlān has basis in Aztec mythology. A soul might be tasked with curing sick people, or bringing rain, or, like these fellows over here, it might have to push up flowers. I don't think Manny and Membrillo should complain too much about the jobs that they have. So the two dead guys were just as lonely as Manny was when they died, with nobody to know them. But Membrillo is also a mirror to Manny's soul. Membrillo is an exhausted workaholic who can't rest, and he's lost an essential part of himself. Membrillo lost his belief in the 9th Underworld. Manny has lost his ability to love. So, thanks for watching. Or not, as the case may be. I realize there are not a lot of views on my video, but I am gonna keep making them, because it's not every day that you find hidden secrets in a classic video game that nobody else has found for 20 years. Hopefully, the word does spread. If you're uncomfortable following me because this game has some cultural appropriation in it and you don't want to be cancelled, I understand. Maybe you can just tell people to Google Deep Lore Gaming and take a view to see the wonderful art that this game does have and the genuine cultural hidden objects that have been placed in it, which the white male creators of this game do not even know exist. So somebody who actually was part of this culture must have put him in there as a kind of, let's make it genuine, let's make it real kind of a thing. And that was rare back then, and I value that. And they've been hidden this whole time, and I'm trying to make them unhidden. So, see you next time.